Every time I see this book, I just feel like there's angels singing everywhere, and there's light on it, shining. It's like, ah. Hola chicas! Welcome if you're new here, or welcome back. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that you clicked on today's video, because today I'm going to be showing you guys my top 5 favorite books or series that I read last 2024 and why you should put it on your TBR list. So if you're looking for your next obsession, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't have the physical copy because I read it on my Kindle, but I'm gonna put the cover over here. So this book is a psychological thriller that will have you questioning everything. I read it in one sitting because I just couldn't put it down. So this book was dark, twisty, and full of secrets. It's a story that follows Lowen, which is a struggling writer who finds a job to finish writing a best-selling author's unfinished manuscript. So that famous author's name is actually Verity, which is the title of the book. But as she digs through Verity's notes, she discovers chilling secrets that left me shook. So the way Colleen Hoover writes attention in this book, it was masterful. Each and every chapter on this book ends with a hook that makes you want to keep turning the pages and just don't stop reading it. At the ending of the book, it really confused me. I still don't know where I stand. Was Verity lying, or is the manuscript telling the truth? It's really like a kind of book that you want to discuss with someone right after reading it. It was just so good. This was the first book that got me into reading again. My friend Stephanie, she actually recommended me to read this book. Once I read that, I just couldn't stop reading psychological thrillers for like months. So yeah, that was a 5 out of 5 star reads for me, and definitely add it to your TBR. Okay, so the next books on my top 5 list is actually this series right here. This is the ACOTAR series written by Sarah J. Maas. So this series right here is an epic fantasy that literally consumed me. Like, look, I tabbed each and every book because I loved it so much. At first, it started a bit slow, especially this one. I would say it started picking up around 60% for me. I DNF'd this before, but I had to push through it, ended up liking it at the very end. So book 1 on this series, which is called A Court of Thorns and Roses, is actually a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it quickly evolves into something so much more. It definitely starts getting so much better, especially when you start reading book 2, which is A Court of Mist and Fury, and book 3, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin. These 2 books on this series is my top favorite books of all time. This one, I would just say, just remember chapter 54 and 55. Sarah J. Maas creates such a rich and immersive world that makes you feel like you live in Prythian alongside with Feyre. And the characters on these books, which are these up here, oh my god, they're everything. So Tamlin, which is the MMC on the first book, starts off as a hero. But as the series progresses, you realize that things aren't so black and white. And then, there comes Rhysand. He is charming, complex, and definitely one of the characters that has the best arc. The Court of Dreams will steal your heart, and the romance on these books, oh my goodness. Literally, that's the only word I can say, oh my goodness. It's absolutely top tier. It's a roller coaster of emotions. The 4th book in this series is the little Christmas novella, I would say. It's a good refresher, because the 5th book, which is A Court of Silver Flames, this will be about, it's focusing on the other side character, which is Feyre's sister, Nesta. Her character development on this book is the best. I would say this is also a 5 out of 5 read for me. So yeah, that's the ACOTAR series. So the other books in my top 5 is the Housemaid series by Freida McFadden. I don't have the physical copy because I read them on my Kindle as well. If you love domestic thrillers with jaw-dropping twists, then this series is the one for you. So the first book, it introduces the character Millie, which we follow around. She takes a job as a housemaid in a fancy mansion. But as she starts noticing strange things happening in the family she works for, the tension builds. You think you have it all figured out, and then bam, a twist that you never see coming. And the writing on this series, it's so engaging and fast-paced that you'll just fly through it. I also love how the story explores power dynamics and deception as well. It's definitely a thriller book that's as thought-provoking as it is entertaining. So read that one as well. So I haven't read the 3rd book on this series. The 2nd book is The Housemaid's Secrets. It also follows Millie, but I'm not gonna say anything about it until you read the 1st book. I'm not even gonna say anything. Just this. This is a masterpiece right here. Every time I see this book, I just feel like there's angels singing everywhere, and there's light on it, shining. It's like, ah. Okay, so coming in hot is the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. The 1st book is called 4th Wing, which is where Daddy Xaden, right here. He's the MMC on this book, and Violence, or Violet Sorrengail, is the FMC on this book right here. This series has been dominating book tag for definitely a reason. It's got dragons, epic battles, and a slow burn romance that got me screaming. This series is a 5-book series, but so far there's only 3 books out. I've only read the first 2 books, and I'm still in chapter 11 on this book right here. I'm trying to milk it out. I don't want to rush through it. Also, look at the sprayed edges on this one. I wasn't able to get the Target exclusive. That one had arts inside of it, I really didn't care that much. I just wanted a physical copy of the deluxe edition. Let's talk about this series. The main character on this series is Violet Soaring Gale. She is such a relatable and compelling protagonist. She starts off as someone who's been underestimated by everyone around her, but the growth throughout her story is so satisfying. And the dragons I mentioned earlier, they're not just side creatures on the background. They are full-fledged characters with their own personalities, especially Andarna. Ooh, that sassy little girl. I loved her, especially on the book 2, which is the Iron Flame. The bond between a rider and a dragon adds an emotional depth that's rare in any fantasy book. Plus, the tension between Xaden and Violet, it's everything. Rebecca Yarros definitely knows how to write romance and makes you feel every glance and every touch. All right, so now we're finally on the last series that is one of the top books that I've read, which is the Lightlark series. So this series is written by Alex Aster. It's a dark, whimsical fantasy that follows Isla Crown, who must survive the Centennial, a deadly competition to break her curse. So the first book is called Lightlark. I got the deluxe edition. My sister-in-law actually gifted this to me. Look at this cover right here and the straight edges. It has character arts inside. So this is Isla, which is the FMC on this book. This book is a love triangle, by the way. This is Grimm right here. I am Team Grimm, definitely. So this is Oro, which is the other guy on the love triangle. On the second book, which is called Nightbane, I kind of gravitated towards Oro a little bit on that part, but I'm still Team Grimm. One of the things I love about this series is how Alex Aster combines high stakes with beautiful and lyrical writing. The Centennial is brutal, and it's actually a little fascinating as well. Every move Isla makes literally could mean life or death for her. The world building on this series is so intricate, from the cursed realms into the different powers of each ruler there is. And the romance on this book, it's full of longing, betrayal, and unexpected twist. Isla is such a complex heroine. She is strong, but she's also vulnerable, which makes her easy to root for. So if you're looking for something magical and intense, then this series is definitely for you. I haven't read the third book yet, which is Skyshade. I have gotten an advanced reader's copy of the audiobook through NetGalley on this one. So probably once I'm done with my February TBR, I'm gonna try to go finish the series that I am in between. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 books or series that literally stole my heart. Let me know in the comments which one you've read or which ones you're going to add on your TBR list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to your bookish friends. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!